Hey, good evening, basketball fans, and welcome out to playoff basketball. It is here, the 2026 quarterfinals, and I am Doug Gann with 446 Sports, and we are delighted to bring this to you tonight. My goodness, it's going to be a good one tonight. I am alongside of a legend at the game. Eric Mouton joins us all the way. Look, there's nothing like little last-minute technical difficulties to get things going, but Eric joins us here. And Eric, welcome.
Thank you, Doug, man. Everybody talks about December and Christmas being the most wonderful time of the year. This is the most wonderful time of the year. It's time to survive and advance. Let's see who's going to the top 28.
Okay, this is when to go home. And you talk about something special. This is kind of an anomaly, too. We saw two teams. The battle for 4 and 5 is real, especially with these two teams. It's a trip from New Orleans to here, or from here down to New Orleans. And you want to play and get that 4 because that gives you the home game. You turn around, and they were so close, they were tied.
It's unbelievable. It's two 20-win teams, two teams as hot as anybody in the state. Menard comes in winning 10 in a row, De La Salle 6 in a row, and they were tied heading into the playoffs, the power points. The tiebreaker allowed Menard to have this home game tonight in their body of work.
And the difference is, you look at Buckeye, who went down to George Washington Carver tonight, that trip from Buckeye down to New Orleans to see who advances. Let me tell you, if you don't think that wears on you, yes, the home game, the visiting game, you block all of that out, you still drive 3+ hours to get to where you're going.
No, there's no doubt the home court advantage is real, especially in the state when you have to travel a long way. You're on that bus all day. You know, teams don't go the night before like colleges do, so they're on the bus, they're stopping, they're cramped, they're trying to sleep. It's a long trip. It's a tough trip. So, man, it's nice to go to school today, go through your routine. You stay in your routine that you've been doing all year long for your home games, and we'll see if Menard can come out on top here tonight. Cannot wait for this one to get going.
You talk about being at home and sleeping in your own bed and those things, and staying home and going to school and all that. A lot of these Menard girls were playing softball last night. They went 15-0 in their game last night. Two of the starters, Sawyer Shelton and Kaylee Methvin, will start today that played last night in that 15-0 win.
The life of a small school, man. You don't call them basketball players or softball players. You call them athletes.
That's correct.
And they give whatever this school needs, and there's so many schools like this across the state.
That's not where the similarities end. Of course, these two teams will get up and down the floor. You know about Carly Menard in the middle. You got the same thing down for De La Salle. You've got athleticism. These two teams are going to get up and down the floor, and they'll go 7 or 8 deep, De La Salle will. I talked to Coach Whittington prior to the game, and he said he likes to go about 5 deep. I was like, goodness.
Well, his keys to victory tonight, according to him, are handle the pressure. De La Salle wants this to be a track meet. They want it to be a full court game. They've got to stay out of foul trouble, and you just mentioned it, Doug, the depth. De La Salle is deeper than Menard, so Menard cannot afford any foul trouble tonight. They've got to contain Lewis and Evans, which is number 4 and number 5. They're going to be the best players on that side, and they're quick. They get a lot of steals, and they want to get those steals and turn defense into offense and then control the tempo. If it's an up-and-down game, it definitely favors the visitors.
Look, and this is one of the things that frustration will get into you as well, the frustration of that tempo. These two teams, now they've battled it with Pitkin, and you've got 3 or 4 guards on Menard that can bring the ball up and down the floor, and that's going to be a big benefit for them as well. One of the trademarks of Coach Whittington, if he gets 5 or 6 point lead on you, he's ready to spread it out and utilize that no shot clock in Louisiana.
Look, I played for a guy, his name's, you may have heard of him, Danny Broussard.
That guy,
That guy. I think he's 5th all-time now.
It didn't take us
national
3 minutes for you to name drop Danny Broussard.
That's right. Well, listen, this is what I'm saying. And his philosophy is if you have the lead, they can't score. And the longer you have the basketball against the high-powered offense, the less defense you have to play.
That's right.
So
Fatigue,
I know Coach Whittington will do the same thing.
Look, and it is so frustrating. We saw the game between Menard and Oak Hill, and we talked to Coach Casey West. They're fresh off a state championship a couple couple of years ago, and they like to do that. She said it's so frustrating because they don't wear you down up and down the floor. They wear you down chasing these guards around to get that ball. And next thing you know, here's Carly Menard with a basket.
That's right. And I had a chance to talk to Coach Mosley tonight from De La Salle, and his keys to victory is he wants to push the tempo. He wants to have Menard worn out and having to hand, because when a team gets comfortable, a lot of times they can execute. But if you make them uncomfortable and you pressure the basketball, you're going to get them out of their rhythm and what they like to do. So defensive pressure tonight. On offense, he said they can't turn the ball over. They play fast pace. And a lot of times when you do that, you can turn the ball over in transition. So he thinks they can make shots and score some points if they can take care of the basketball and get into their half-court sets if they need to.
Well, we're looking forward to it. The way that they got here, I don't think there was much of a challenge on either side of it, too. And that's what, when you get into these smaller divisions, things really heat up here in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and it's game time. You know, it's survive and advance, win or go home, like we mentioned a little bit earlier. And I know both of these teams are prepared. You know, in today's age, Doug, you got live stream going on. You got huddle. Everybody sees everybody.
There's no secrets.
No, there isn't. So they're going to game plan, and they're going to, whoever can execute that game plan, because two good coaches going at it tonight, whoever can execute that game plan that the coaches put in this week is going to be heading to the top 28 in Hammond.
Look, and that is Coach Whittington has that degree. He's been around. He's been on those undefeated teams. And they brought him here to really bring that style of finesse and battle and fatigue work on it, because they want to wear out. De La Salle as well.
Yeah, and when you talk about game plans, Doug, you always say, well, so-and-so scoring 15 points a game and hitting 3 threes. So we want to take that away from her. And sometimes you can't do that. But when you do, who is that unsung hero that's going to step up? Maybe somebody that only averages 4 or 5 points, but in a game like this, they're open a little bit more and they have more opportunities. And if they step up, it's normally those that are not the leading scorers to step up and win games like this. So it'll be interesting to see if somebody does that for one of these teams.
Well, and we saw that in the game the other day. And look, it's no secret. The young lady is going to be, after she finishes her career here, Carla Menard is going to start her career down in New Orleans, playing at Loyola there in the Red River Athletic Conference, and it's no mistake. And you talked about it, from huddle to streaming to everything that's out there. Everybody knows who Carly Menard is, and the success has been to drop 2 or 3 players down on her and try to deny her the basketball. She's not going to get into foul trouble. She plays in contain. But Eric, what you see is Jamie Sue's got to step up. Kaylee Methvin's got to step up. Sawyer's got to be able to hit somebody else. That inside-out game has to work, and that'll back people off of Menard.
Yeah, and if it's a guard that's averaging that many points, or a Division I, you can box in one. You can deny her. But inside, it's really hard to do. There's a couple things you can do. You can play like a 1-1-3, keep a girl behind her, and then from the free throw line, you can double from the top. So there's a number of ways to take away an inside and a big, but I know she can step out and attack the basket as well.
But you're talking about doing that with Division I, Division II, 3. Here you don't often see that you've got the ability to run that type and to execute, because you're going to have somebody else that may drop off of it. So, man, I would hate to be game planning. I think my game planning for this was a whole lot easier. It was just which row we were going to sit on.
There you go. No, these big time games. You talked about Coach Whittington, who's been there before. A proven winner, and he's going to have these girls ready to play. I know they're excited. I know they want to get to that top 28. And again, it's at home. And De La Salle has been on the bus most of the day heading this way. I saw the yellow dog right outside there. Boy, bring back memories.
There's no charters in the quarterfinals.
No charters yet. They may get one next week, but you got to win tonight to get on that charter bus, baby.
And Menard is no stranger to being down there. They've certainly been down there. De La Salle, I know these are experienced teams on there, and they know how much this is. Look, this has the intensity of one of those games down there in Hammond in that March Madness. I mean, you can just sense that these two teams are gonna slug at each other.
Yeah, if you're if there's a point spread, man, it would be really, really hard to pick, with two 20-win teams, two teams as hot as anybody in the state, equal in the power points. It's going to be, and sometimes, Doug, it's the little things, what some coaches call the little things that decide games. I call them the winning things.
Right.
Who's going to come up with more 50-50 balls? Who's going to take more charges? Who's going to dive on the floor first to come up with those balls and make those winning plays?
If there was just a doctor of fundamentals that could explain that to a little bit, that's good. Look, I'm just going to, I don't do much volleyball, but I'm going to serve them up to you.
Serve them up, baby. I'm ready. I'll get up there and I will finish it. I promise you that.
Eric Mouton joins us from the Acadiana Sports Network and a branch of 446. We utilize them a lot and delighted to it. Tell us a little bit about what's going on down there in the Acadiana area right now.
Man, we're getting ready for some softball. I had a chance to talk to Kevin Foote today from the Advocate in Acadiana, and we talked a little bit about some of the teams down there. Obviously, St. Thomas More, somebody you always know is going to be there year after year. He mentioned Kaplan. I know you did an interview with the coach
LaBeouf and that Kaplan group. They just wake up winning.
Some teams do that. North Vermilion is supposed to have a really good team this year. He mentioned Turlings. He mentioned Notre Dame. I think you talked about going to Crowley and doing a game.
And that group are phenomenal. They've got a big one going on down in St. Thomas More. That St. Thomas More tournament is this weekend. That'll be down there, down in, what is that park, in Youngsville or Broussard, wherever it's at out there. That's where there are a lot of softball teams that will go down there. So that's good. We look forward to having that out of that Acadiana area and things that we do. We're going to unveil over the summer, but we are more than delighted to have Eric Mouton with us from here on. So, well, you couldn't have got up for a more exciting one. This is one when you're looking at the calendar for the week, you said, yeah, let's do that.
I'm free. I will be here. I came up and did a game with KP,
right?
My buddy KP, your buddy KP. We had Arca, who actually came up from Youngsville to take on Menard. I know both of those coaches really well, the boys and the girls, and me and KP did both. I was very impressed with both teams. Menard's boys and the girls team really ended up blowing out Arca, who's a 3A school. So it was fun to do that game. It was great to come down here in this atmosphere. But, man, I think tonight the atmosphere is going to be off the chain.
One thing that hurts it in a game like this, it certainly helps the broadcast, but it hurts it in a game like this, is you look around the stands and it is heavily Menard, as you'd expect, because there aren't a lot of people that are going to take off and drive up here for this one that are just fans.
That's right. And Doug, there is no better feeling in the world than to go on the road with just your team. I did it in college. We would go on the road, man. We'd go play Lamar. We'd go play UNO. We'd go play Louisiana Tech. We had a few fans, but it was probably 95 to 5%. And if you can come out with a tough, hard-fought victory, it's just your group. That's really all you have. There's no better feeling in the world than going on the road and winning a big game.
That makes that bus ride back a whole lot easier.
No doubt about that, too.
And look, we tell the story, probably one of my favorites in the broadcast, and there's been a bunch of them through the years, but this relates to how quiet it can be in a gym when there's nobody out there. When Ash won their state championship in basketball, it was the COVID year, and COVID was just on the cusp of what was going on, and so they let them play, but nobody could come in except a few admin, the teams, and a couple of broadcasters. And so we're in there, and you hear the squeaking, you hear all of this. It's a 30 to 32 ball game at the end of it. Show you how low scoring that was. And so with our headsets on, you can't hear anything outside. Right. And so I make the point of, it'd be a great time for this guy to miss this one, and Ash should wrap it up. And everybody turns and looks at me. And I'm like on the air. I was like, well, it would be.
That's awesome. I did the COVID year with the LHSAA network, and man, to have no fans in the stands for those games was just surreal. It was unbelievable. Just an eerie feeling, which was a lot of the COVID era. But to have those state championship games in the empty Burton Coliseum, I know you felt the same way.
Yep.
Over in Hammond.
Well, and you look around and you just see how one-sided it is in here, but I'm going to tell you, that is not going to do, because as a player, and you've played for a lot of years, you block all of that out. Once that ball is tossed up in the air, it's done it probably well before then. it's all gone.
Yeah, it's poised. I mean, you have to be put in that situation to understand it and know what it's like. And those that can just zone everything out and get into that zone are the ones that normally come out on top. And Menard tonight will have to be poised under pressure because they will be pressed. And I know Coach Whittington says, look, if you put 2 on the ball and you trap, when that ball comes out of the trap, you should have numbers.
That's right.
So make the team pay for pressing you. And if they can do that, they'll have a chance tonight.
And you've got to do that early enough. It's similar to dropping 3 or 4 people down on Carly early on, too. You've got to show that you can beat that press because then they're going to have to rethink it. If you run out 10, 12 points in a row off of beating that press, now all of a sudden you've got to make some more adjustments. You get a little 30-second timeout and take care of things.
And it's a great feeling as a coach, too, when you handle that and you put your game plan in and your team executes it and you make the other team change defenses. You make them do something they're not used to doing. So if they can attack that pressure and get them out of the press, that's going to be a big, big boost for Menard.
It definitely is. And, conversely, Menard's going to come after you too. You know that they've transitioned a lot as well. They get Jamie Sue, they get Sawyer on you, and they're creating some havoc. They like to use the 2 defenders and either the sideline, the baseline, or the half court for the 10-second call as well. So they're getting an extra defender in there.
Yeah, and that press sometimes you want to try to get them up the sideline. The other team wants to get the ball to the middle of the floor because it's a lot harder to trap somebody in the middle of the floor. But that game I came due with Arca, Doug, it was like a 1-point game at the end of the first quarter. And Coach Whittington decided to pick up the press, pick up the tempo, because he was letting Arca get too comfortable. And the second they picked up that pressure, Arca couldn't handle it. And just that one little change in the game plan allowed them to run away with that game.
Look, and that's where a lot of it, athleticism, all of that aside, you better be an in-game manager of this thing to catch the ebb and flow of it, and both of these gentlemen are.
Yeah, it's a chess match. They're gonna do one thing, and they'll try to counter with it. A great feeling, too, is to make another team call a timeout because you're making a run. And then during that timeout, they're talking about what you're having success with. So you come out with something different after the timeout. Look, so many ways to go about it. And I can't wait to see what both of these coaches have in store tonight to see who can pull this quarterfinal game out.
You see the Lady Eagles make their way out, and they are bringing all of the seniors out as captains, and you really love to see that. It's just a good time. Final home game here, no matter what. This is a final home game for that group, and that gives a little extra incentive to these young ladies. But I'm telling you, De La Salle doesn't care anything about any of that.
No, they're a balanced team too. He's got some girls that can play defense. Obviously, you don't win 20 games. Come out 5th in your division without being able to play some defense. Remy Evans is a good facilitator. She's going to run the offense, and she's going to try to get the ball to the girls. She averages 7.6 points a game, but she's out there to run the show, to be the floor general, and to be the leader of this team.
Yeah, you'll see Remy Evans that he talked about, number 5. And look, here's already the attention to detail. When we got the scorebook, it had the names in numerical order and first and last name. And look, you can say what you want about things. That's pretty important.
And no, there's no doubt. And then he is going to rely heavily tonight, too, on Jaden Brown. She's a senior, number 11. She's been a 4-year starter. She's really coming to her own this year because sometimes even if you're a senior, it doesn't mean you've gotten a ton of playing time throughout your career. Sometimes you have to earn it at really good programs. So she's really coming to her own this year. And she's also healthy. She's battled a few injuries here and there. And they also have Amor, who is about 80% tonight, according to Coach Mosley. But he said 80% of her, he'll take that every night. At least she's out there. She's tough, and she wants to play.
Sutton is going to be tremendous for him out there, and that's one of those where you see that are you hurt or are you injured, and these players are going to play, and especially at this point in it, as a senior, you're 4-5, you're on the road. This is it. There's no way she's not going.
No, this is it. I mean, the season's on the line. You got to do whatever you can give your team. The bench has got to be involved, especially on the road. It's just your team, basically. We see a few fans that have made it from New Orleans, but man, we can maybe count to about 10 or 15. So that bench is going to have to be in the game as well and bring some energy because the crowd is all Menard tonight.
And one big difference in a normal game, a regular season game, most of the time you would have the boys, even if you came 3 hours, you've at least got the boys team cheering for the girls team cheering, and they tend to ramp it up when there's nobody else here.
No doubt, and that's why bench is so important, and I know they will all be into the game. We also have a couple of twins. There's a set of twins for De La Salle, number 15, Tamaya Cole, and then you have number 21, Tiana Cole. He said their games are very similar. So when you look at them tonight, we'll make sure we pick the right one, as we call them, 15 and 21. They both can shoot. They both can handle the ball. Coach is going to rely on them a lot tonight, too.
Look, I get away easy, and I just say Cole. That clears a lot. Take the easy approach out of it. We're going to turn it over to our public address announcer here, and we'll be back for you with the opening tip.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Holy Savior Menard welcomes you to the nest for tonight's basketball matchup between De La Salle Cavaliers and the Holy Savior Menard Lady Eagles. Please rise for a prayer and a pledge.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner by which our words and our actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with respect for the members of the opposing team. Bless each one of us, especially coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us safe from harm and help us be aware of your presence with us in this game. Through Christ our Lord, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the starting lineup for the Cavaliers. At forward, 5'9", senior number 2, Avery Fry. At guard, 5'5", sophomore number 3, Salle Chester. At guard, 5'10", senior number 4, Donshay Lewis. At guard, 5'4", sophomore number 5, Remy Evans. And at forward, 5'10", senior number 11, Jaden Brown. Head coach Michael Lewis. And now the starting lineup for your Holy Savior Menard Lady Eagles. At guard, 5'5", junior number 10, Mia Rubio. At forward, 6' senior number 2, Kaylee Mathman. At guard, 6'1", senior number 21, Sawyer Shelton. At point guard, 6' senior number 5, Jamie Sue Borlaug. And at center, 6'3", senior number 20, Carly Menard.
And there you have the starting lineups for tonight's contest. And Eric, as a former player too, how much time goes into the handshake part of it, and how is the selection of the handshake person?
You know, Doug, back when I played, it was the old-fashioned high five.
That's right.
I know they've come up with a lot of different things now, which is awesome, and it's just something to give them something to do as they run out. And I know they love doing that stuff.
Absolutely, they do. You see Jamie Sue making her way out. Carly Menard is there. Kaylee Methvin, Mia Rubio, and Sawyer Shelton will get the start. It's Fry, Chester, Lewis, Evans, and Brown that will start for this De La Salle team. And if you sit back, this is not going to be one that you're going to go, man, what a low scoring game. There's nothing going on. They're going to get up and down.
No doubt. De La Salle will try to score. It's difficult to get a full court press or any type of press up if you don't score, because a lot of times teams will look to run in transition off of misses and turnovers. So for De La Salle to get that press up, they've got to put the ball in the basket.
Brown and Methvin set to jump center. Tip is up, and we are underway into this one, and it is controlled by De La Salle and gets it right back. Come out on them pretty well there. This is what you're going to see. There's a three that is up, and it's launched, and it's good.
That's Lewis, the senior, after a little penetration. Good kick. She's ready to shoot, and there it is. A little pressure, sped him up, and a turnover.
And that's what you see. You got Rubio that caught it, but when she turns, she's looking and she's running. And that will get De La Salle back set up into that offense. That is Lewis that will run the point for. She's going to drop back and shoot another one. That is a long three, chasing it down. Saved inside by De La Salle and worked around, and just good movement all around. Methvin is going to let that go out. It's going to be a team offensive rebound. Score that one.
Yeah, and long shots lead to long rebounds. You can see that three-pointer that was missed. They had to come all the way to the sideline to track that rebound down. So Menard will have to get long rebounds as well as rebounds inside.
Inside it goes there, and we're going to have our first and one opportunity coming.
No, that one didn't go in.
No, it didn't get out there. All right, they missed it. That's what I've got you there for.
That's right, brother. I got you.
Rubio whistled for the foul. That is her first team foul. Going to the line to shoot two. That one up and back iron, no good. You know, and what you've got to look for, you expect there's going to be some fouls in transition. You can't have them under the basket. Second free throw is up, and it's good, and 4-0, and there's that pressure.
Looks like the diamond, the 1-2-2, looking to trap everywhere.
Look, and they were going backwards. Good job working it towards the center. They get it to Methvin, or to Menard, who gets away. Tremendous ball movement. Give the assist to Rubio in the basket to Methvin.
That's beautiful. You handle that pressure, you can have numbers. Great extra pass for the layup.
Look, and that was huge, having Carly out at the center court to get that and get that ball into the low post. Speaking of low post, that one is up, and a travel is whistled prior.
And a change of defenses from Coach Whittington after the basket. They came back in the 1-2-2 matchup and forced the turnover and the travel.
Here comes that pressure again, and you see that they are just staying down on Menard down on this end. Kind of they're going to go man with her. Inside it goes to Rubio. We'll see who else is able to start the scoring for Menard. They work it to Methvin. She'll hit a mid-range jumper, bounces around, no good. Rebound controlled and out by De La Salle. Stops, shoots, fires, three up, no good. Rebound controlled there by Carly. And they'll look to run, and that, Eric, is the only choice you have. You can finish like that.
And De La Salle sending a lot of ladies to the offensive glass. Nobody rotating back in transition. Coach Whittington is fired up.
How about that timeout that is whistled right there? And they go in there and get a full timeout instantly and saying, wait a minute, you got to cover Carly, because what's the difference was I think they expected Carly to run out a little bit more, and she's staying and controlling things.
When you have a big that can play like that, good feet, good vision, passes the ball well, that's not a bad option against the press. And it's the 1-2-2. And you notice, Doug, that they're passing the ball before the trap can get to the basketball. And that's a great way to attack it. Keep the ball moving so they can't trap you.
Look, and you hear so much about not picking up your dribble, and they're grabbing and going. Short of the very first one, when we had the turnover to start with, it's been ran pretty efficiently.
The ball gets down the floor faster with a pass than with a dribble, and a great way to break the press is to get it to the middle and then attack the weak side. If the pass comes from the right side of the court, the defense is going to be on the right side. So if you can go middle to weak side, you get numbers like we've had the last few possessions from Menard.
So how about the great chess master there, Coach Whittington? He's already made a change. Will he make another change in this timeout just to check and checkmate?
Let's see. Looks like the zone again. Maybe a kind of a 1-2-1-1 look.
Clock is malfunctioning a little bit.
Watch that one. It's right.
They'll get that back and set. 9-1 with 9:01 remaining.
I bet if it was an Alexandria crew, they knew that clock is probably going to malfunction at some point. But I'm not sure where they're from, but they are not from New Orleans or Alexandria. I know that.
No, they don't. They don't do that at all. Again, Eric Mouton bringing you quarterfinal basketball here. Kick out is there. Well, that zone is really extending out and effective. Spun around there trying to drive inside, and no good there. Bounced around, rebound controlled out, still controlled, and there's Carly with a block, but she's going to be whistled for a foul. And Coach Craig not happy at all.
Might have got Bordelon from the back, reaching in, trying to help her teammate there.
We'll check and see. Did they put 10 up or 20?
I think the official showed number 5 because it was a clean block in front of her.
First one is up and it's good. Here on the campus of Holy Savior Menard in Alexandria, Louisiana, we're bringing you quarterfinal action. Second free throw up and good, and back in the lead is De La Salle. There's Bordelon again, trapped on the side. Boy, Carly just goes and gets that one. She's going to draw a foul. But did you see her go back and get that one?
I saw it. That's an athlete right there. Great feet, great hands, kept her balance, reaches back with one hand, comes up with that, draws the contact, draws a foul on their opponent.
Shelton has it there. They're getting out on Shelton pretty good, too. Across it goes to Rubio. And look, this is a little bit about what we talked about. They're not afraid to run some seconds off of a clock at all and probably get yourself an opportunity at a backdoor drive to the basket.
Looks like a little 1-3-1 matchup from De La Salle, but they're not letting the ball go to the high post. They are covering Menard at all times.
Inside it goes. Good dish from Shelton. It got the basket. That one goes in.
Coach Mosley not happy with Jaden Brown because when she slid down from the high post, Brown stayed behind her. She has got to get in front of her. She catches it right there. And that's a lot of contact, too, Doug. She finished through that contact. A lot of times you'll see that not go in and shoot, too, but she's strong enough to finish, but couldn't finish the old-fashioned three-point play.
No good there, and off and running De La Salle. We are back at 6 with 5:01 to go. You see that on our Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. That's a 2. It's launched at a foot. They're giving her a 2, and it was. That had just a toe on the line that kept that from being there.
Banks open on a Tuesday night?
Already they're going.
Thursday night, yeah.
One of those, see? Back to Menard in the middle, and they'll get it back to Jamie Sue. And that's good. Getting across the timeline is certainly what you want to do because that's where a lot of De La Salle's offense goes. You cannot do that ever.
Yep.
There's a turnover by Rubio. She gets it right back. Carly waits on numbers, kicks it out to Methvin, and they'll back this out. Going to this 4 out really early. We were wondering if he would do it with a lead, but here he is doing it when it trails by 2. But you want to take away that tempo and not let them get into an up-and-down game.
That's it. The longer you have the ball, the less defense you have to play. They're looking inside now, but they're not going to let Menard get a good look. Here she comes inside and bumped again.
Back up top, that one. Such quick hands. That one is knocked away, but there's a steal back by Jamie Sue. That's one thing I just don't think you can prepare for is the fact that they don't quit. There's a lob inside. No foul, no call, but what a basket. And if you've not seen Carly Menard play before, welcome.
That's a great play catch, and she finds the backboard, able to lay it in. Fry comes over just a little late, tries to draw the charge, but no call.
Bounces around, no good. You know what? You didn't see De La Salle crash the board that much. They were getting back on the run out.
And that's an adjustment from Coach Mosley there. And you notice that transition and Menard getting to the basket and beating him down the floor. Hey, forget about offensive glass. Let's get stops.
And look, I think you'll take that if you're Menard. over to this side because it allows you to do this. And look, I'll get on that soapbox and tell you that I absolutely am for a shot clock because I can't stand it, but I'm not trying to coach to get for a championship.
Yeah, there's a lot of people for it, but Doug, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. Oh, too high.
And then thrown away. And that's the reason that I don't like it, because I think it gets you out of a flow. 2:40 remains here in the first. Long-range three is launched, and there are some offensive boards there from De La Salle.
Travel.
Eight to 8, and substitutions are coming in. You see that for De La Salle. Who do you have coming in, Eric?
There's the twins. That's the Cole twins right there, Tamia and Tanya.
Sawyer set to inbounds, and De La Salle will drop down in that zone defense once again.
They'll extend it a little bit just to make them pass the ball. If they sit back, there's really nothing they can do. And there's a deflection and a steal.
And they get on you as soon as somebody touches the ball facing the other way. They're jumping the lane.
Tiana Cole with the steal that time for De La Salle. 3 ball.
That one no good. It'll go off to Methvin, and she's got it fresh off of a big night at the plate last night in that 15-0 victory. Not that that has anything to do with what we're watching. 8 to 8, minute 57 and counting here. Well, the pressure just to this side of it, it seems like they're content to stay to the right side of that defense. Now they'll go back the other way. Methvin's got to hit this. 3 ball from the corner, no good. And unable to get it there was Jamie Sue. They'll go back down the floor.
Good hustle. That's great hustle there from Bordelon.
Well, Rubio will dish it off now, gives it back to Carly, who is going to be fouled, and she'll go to the line.
Her hands are unbelievable, Doug. Her hands are absolutely. She has made 3 or 4 catches tonight, a la Randy Moss. One-handers, my goodness.
So you think we ought to send some of this footage into Sports Center, and she got mossed. You're absolutely right.
Man, unbelievable. And great passes, too. Those guards know where to look when they get the ball. As soon as they get across half court, they're looking in the paint. If she's open, she's getting the ball.
First lead of the night for Menard. And you notice what you're losing so much. So a lot of people can catch the ball, but what you do with it after that, and she's able to go and finish and get to the basket.
Yeah, the feet, too. She's able to gather herself, because a lot of times when you reach like that, you get off balance and you just throw something up there. It's a low percentage shot. She seems to always be on balance when she finds the rim.
Steady feet, and that's why she's going to be a star down at Loyola as well. Good denial there and knocked away. And I like these officials letting them play around a little bit out there.
That's good defense. Ball was on that side. Oh, she might have got away with it.
Yeah, that's one of those if you're calling for the other side. Look at Carly. They'll collapse on her, and they just manhandled her that time.
Double team.
Running around the would-be charge. Off and over to Menard in this one. That's the first time I've really seen her doubled down here like that.
Yeah, and Brown, the senior, Jaden Brown, got better position, but she also had help from her teammate. They're not real big, but they're quick. They came across the lane as quick as they could and were able to get her off balance a little bit that time with the double team.
Bordelon will run by her defender, kick it around, and content to let you know that it'll be Methvin and Menard that'll shoot this. Rubio's got it there and gets it down inside. And look, just muscling away, and she's going to go back to the free throw line.
And that's Fry found herself. Fry, the tallest player on the court, but De La Salle is really small right now. Tough matchup. Menard being as good as she is, coming in averaging 25 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks a game. They're going to have to make an adjustment there. Send 2 at her again.
Carly makes that one, and she is now 3 of 4. The only one she missed was that and one opportunity. Second free throw. She's got it. And look how crucial Eric is free throw shooting early on in the game. We know how it is at the end. What about early on?
It's contagious. When you start making free throws early, the first few that go to the line, the other team feeds off of that. They don't want to let their teammates down, so they get up there and shoot the ball with a little more confidence, a little more sense of urgency to make all those free ones.
Well, I like that Menard is playing this at their tempo. Running one-hander up and no good. 7 and 6 and 5. Sawyer's good at some half-court shots. Going to throw that one away. The best thing for it to do is roll out of bounds. 1 second to go, and you'll have a heave. Here is about all that you'll have. And they get Maddie Roy in there just to make sure there's not a foul on Sawyer. That one goes away, and that is the end of one. Eric, 12-8 Menard at the end of this. We'll keep it here through the break. But, you think Coach Whittington slowed it down there in the first behind a bucket? What do you think he'll do with a 4-point lead?
I think he's going to try to make them chase as long as they stay in the zone because they can't pressure the ball. You can always reverse it. You can throw it to the other side of the floor. You can hit the wing. And when they go to the wing, they're looking to go inside to their leading scorer, Menard. So as long as De La Salle stays in the zone, I think Coach Whittington will stay in the wide 2-1-2, get it to the wing, and then get it to your leading scorer.
Absolutely, and getting a good rest here. That was a pretty good first quarter on both sides of it. If you're following along on YouTube, let us know where you're watching from in the comments down there. If you've got it on Facebook, jump on board and be one of the new followers that we have. Went over 15,000 and on our way to 16,000. That's 446 Sports on Facebook and YouTube and X and pretty much anywhere there is social media. We're not on Pinterest, I'll tell you that. But yeah, when your volume's not on, it auto-generates captions. Boy, I'd hate to see how they had to deal with listening to us. They will inbound from the near side, will the Lady Eagles. They lead at 12-8 here, a stack along the center line. And they get it out to Methvin, and we're underway, and clock is rolling.
And Doug, De La Salle comes out in a man-to-man. Now they're extended. Now it's harder to pass the basketball. They need to try to deny a little bit to avoid this.
Exactly, that back door is there. But they're not going to let Menard. And look, the book on Menard is what it is. They will try to just choke you out like an MMA fighter.
They see Chester out a lot higher there, almost forced a back court because they are matching up a little more.
And that's the one thing where you get that opportunity to have an extra defender, and I hate to air quote on that, trying to get it inside, and that one's going to roll off of a couple of De La Salle players over to Methvin, who will have it.
A lot harder to hold the ball. Pressure getting up and taking passes away. Knock away there, but she comes up with it.
And going back the other way, everybody wanting a foul, but there is Sawyer doing what Sawyer Shelton does.
Great anticipation, great steal. And De La Salle doesn't have the ball. They want to get down the floor so fast and score that they're turning it over.
Be careful there, yeah. And look at how far out they're playing Carly. Sawyer will get it around to Jamie Sue. Rubio open on the near side. But good cross-court passes just aren't working. There's Sawyer from downtown. Free ball, corner pocket, Sawyer Shelton.
And that is just a back breaker right there. You play good defense, you get out the pressure, you make them do something different, and she steps up. Shelton knocks it down. Third on the team in scoring.
15-8 here, trying to answer the other way is De La Salle, and that one bounces around. Rebound is controlled, and this game couldn't be going any more the way that Coach Whittington and these Lady Eagles want it.
And one and done for De La Salle, as even in that zone, Menard doing a great job of rebounding.
Look at Carly back to the line, and one thing she's doing, even if she misses those, she's getting a lot of fouls on these De La Salle players.
No doubt about it. And they can't deny her, really, because she does use her body well and kind of post up even at the high post. And if that ball is anywhere in her vicinity, she is coming up with it, and she's attacking the rim.
Missed her first on the and one, and has hit 4 free throws since that point. 15-8 lead, and if you recall, Menard trailed this 8-6, so a 9-0 run here for the Lady Eagles. That one bounces around, and I can announce her jinx with the best of them.
And De La Salle has gone cold on the offensive end, Doug, which makes it hard to set up your press. It's, because once that ball comes out off of the rim, the other team's going with it, and your ladies are not where they're supposed to be. Unlike when you make a basket, you can press.
Second free throw was good, and Menard doubling up De La Salle right now. But look, basketball is such a game of momentums, and there's a turnaround inside the free throw line jumper that's good.
Yeah, Jaden Brown, the senior. That's better offense right there. They punctured the zone. They got it inside to the paint, and Jaden with nice touches of turnover.
And this is what happens is you're able to do a backside block from Carly. She, of course, leads the team in blocks. Numbers for Menard, but Methvin not able to get it into the front court that quick. And a turnover near travel, but play on. And look, if you're going to let them play on one end, you got a little play out here, and they did it.
There's a reach. They're going to get Methvin.
Foul is whistled there, just her first. First on Methvin. That is her first team foul. Each team has just one. That one tipped away, and boy, you don't see that often on an inbounds there. It's tipped in the lane near back court. Inside to Carly, doesn't get it to finish, but gonna give herself the board. Boy, you gotta finish that.
Jaden Brown, the senior, number 11, back in the game, and she's physical. She had both hands up right there. She just walled up. Couple of bumps there from her, but you talked about it there, letting them play. Let the kids decide it, and both coaches are great with that if you're consistent.
And look, it's not egregiously physical and manhandling, but they're not calling ticky-tack things early on, and that's one time that you can see some officials get in the way and take it out of the kids' hands if you're calling some things that hadn't been called all year long.
Yep, Coach Mosley wanting a timeout right here. Coach Mike Mosley, senior, wanting to maybe make an adjustment here. He's only down 6. They hit a couple of threes, and, of course, they're in this thing, but they're a little impatient. And they are not shooting a high percentage right now, which is leading to some Menard transition opportunities.
Interaction with the fans when you're this close is the greatest thing. I cover my mic like it's going to help any, and it doesn't. So, talking to one of the administration here at Menard, and man, it's just they've been great to us through the years. There's no doubt about that. Inbounds they go. Even 5 minutes remaining. And this is the big point of the game of each quarter that we like, Eric. And I don't know if KP let you in on it or not, but 4:46 remaining here in the first half. Shot is from a distance up and no good. Kaylee pulls that one down. Wow, it looked like they were waiting for that to go out of bounds, and it never did, and I thought it was out already. Back to the far side goes De La Salle. 4.5 remains here in the first half.
Still in the 1-2-2 matchup. You can see they put a little pressure, but they can also guard the wings and take away those three-pointers from De La Salle.
You've got Carly out on the wing. They've got Sawyer chasing side to side. And De La Salle, now this is the longest they've had one in a half-court set. There's a three from the corner. It's up and it's good. It's a 5-0 run here.
Tamaya Cole Jr.
After it was 16-8. Boy, numbers again. And that's one of those, you got to get it inside. Methvin will fire away from 3, but there's Carly to clean it up. What a weapon that is.
And that's just a hustle play right there. She doesn't stay at the free throw line assuming her teammate's going to make the 3. She slides down to the weak side where most misses go, right to her, and she lays it in. That's a big play. That's a momentum play.
That's knowing the basketball game. That's basketball IQ. That rebound is controlled by Sawyer, and she's got another one. They'll trap here. Jamie Sue not ready to turn it over, but she does. That one up and in. A turnover basket. And here's the opportunity for De La Salle to press again. Boy, there are 2 weary fighters here with 3 to go.
It looks like Menard is a little more tired than De La Salle, but no call again.
Carly misses that one, gets her second rebound on that possession, and Boy, they're curious about where the foul came. 2:47.
Listen, give some credit to Menard, too, because they're all over. They used to do hack-a-shack.
Yeah.
They're in there being physical. She could lose her composure and commit something, throw a punch or an elbow and get frustrated. She is really keeping her composure.
Well, these senior leaders know how to stay in a game. And Eric, she's been doing this since the 8th grade here. Now in her senior year, it goes in. They'll kick it out to Sawyer. She's already hit one. She's got another one from downtown. Sawyer Shelton.
Huge three right there. And great ball movement from Menard. They attack the strong side, and that leaves that weak side open. And Shelton, the sniper, ready to shoot.
Nearly has that one over to the corner. She'll try another one. That one up and away. No good. Rebound off. On the line is what she called, on the baseline. And you'll get a fresh three coming in for De La Salle here.
A little line change for De La Salle, coming back with a few starters there. And again, when you play that up tempo, it's great to have a little depth. And Coach Shelton definitely, Coach Mosley definitely has it.
Look, Sawyer is like a coach out there too. Yep, when you're able to just rotate and rotate and rotate, and we take a look at that one on the line. We take a look at number of warm-up tops that are off, and you only see one from Menard.
Coach Whittington really upset at too much dribbling there. He's passed the ball. They have success when they can rotate to the weak side of the floor or to the middle. But when you get it and just dribble up, a lot of times they'll turn it over.
There's a three that's launched. Yeah, for 14 minutes so far, they have passed it and not dribbled. Now they're looking down the floor to Rubio. Nearly a travel there. She dumps it off, but too much. You almost got to bounce that one in. Kaylee Methvin slow to get up and into the offense, and that's a concern for you. Off the leg of De La Salle. 1:33 remains here.
Hey, compete,
And
baby.
there's our buddy, Coach Whittington. Very vocal. Very vocal.
Back and forth. Reverse the ball. Have somebody to throw. You always have a safety valve behind you.
There is Sawyer able to drag that foot and not move anywhere.
Oh, forget about it.
Inside,
Beautiful.
Carly Menard.
That's what happens when you pass the basketball. Tell him, Coach Witt.
What a concept. Big shout out to Grace, who is watching here. She is up in New York, I believe. But the family here watching, that's where Lynn Roy got snowed in last week and wasn't able to make the regional round. Coach Whittington will let you know about it, won't he?
No doubt about it.
Back up top and around they go. 53 seconds remain here. Thought about a three, but that zone just collapses out. That three misses everything. And you're starting to feel a little bit of it here. That defense has made De La Salle change some things up.
Yeah, that was Sutton, the freshman. Little pressured three there. She'll head to the bench as Chester, the starter, will come back in. And here's the 2-2-1 trap, trying to get it on the sideline. Numbers again.
Oh, good. No look this. They look to Rubio to finish it. She's got to make the basket. She's going to be open. She's got to make that.
In and out. But, boy, once again, great ball movement. The iron unkind.
Again, high off the glass and no good. De La Salle content to shoot them from outside, but unable to make them. And that rebound falls right in the hands of Jamie Sue. And she's fouled along the line.
Yeah, they're going to get Lewis Sr. there.
Isn't that what you do? You know the pressure's coming. Run over there and let them push you out of bounds, and you're going to get that foul.
Hey, if you got speed, you get the hands on that basketball and you turn the corner and explode down the sideline, you can definitely draw those fouls. If not, have a safety valve, somebody to throw the ball back to reverse it.
Just 15 seconds remain here, and now down to 10. Menard trying for the last shot. That one's knocked away. We'll stay with the Lady Eagles. 23-15. Pretty good second quarter here for both teams.
Poked away by Fry down low.
7.6. Oh, inside it goes. Jamie Sue unable to finish that. They were looking outside. Kaylee's got to fire away. It does. Bangs around, no good, and that's going to get us to intermission. But what an exciting one. And they'll hear it from this Menard crowd. You'll get a look at them on your screen as the Lady Eagles start to make their way off. And no dilly-dallying. Methvin's going inside to get that leg looked at a little bit, too. Great ovation here. Thoughts on that first half before we go to the break?
Yeah, Menard did a good job of handling pressure. You know, De La Salle didn't shoot a very high percentage, which allowed them to get some fast breaks. When Menard passes the basketball, they're able to handle it. When they dribble too much, Coach Whittington does not like that, and he'll let you know about it. Pass the ball to break the press, and they're getting some easy opportunities on the other end.
One of the questions that we asked prior to this was who was going to step up if Menard was unable to get off, which she scored. But 2 big threes from Shelton have been huge.
Yeah, they're inside. They're taking her away and kicking it out. And again, that ball reversal, Doug, a lot of times when the ball's on one side of the floor, you'll have 5 girls on that side.
We're going to step back and let the dance team here entertain you at halftime. And we'll be back in about 7 minutes.
How am I doing, boss?
Tremendous. I just want to be quiet. Listen. Back to the second half here. I am Doug Gamble of 446 Sports alongside of Eric Mouton. And Eric, it's everything that we hoped it would be. A battle, a physical one, great defense, transition, both sides of it. But let's take a look back at your keys to the game.
Yeah, we talked first with Coach Whittington at Menard and to handle the pressure. And Doug, every time they went up the sideline and dribbled the ball too much, they got themselves in trouble. When they passed the ball, and you mentioned Coach Whittington, you could hear him all the way down there, pass the ball, and he said reverse it, get it to the other side of the floor, because on the strong side, you're normally going to have 5 girls right there trying to trap you. If you can get it to the weak side, you can attack, and then that extra pass for the layup. So they pretty much handled the pressure, which is why they're up. Stay out of foul trouble. I think they've done that. Now, these girls have played a lot of minutes for Menard. They're definitely not as deep, so they're hydrating in there. They're staying in there as long as they possibly can, and here they come right now, back out onto the floor. Contain Lewis and Evans. They really they held them to 15 points as a team. That is not bad, but they are looking to get off and looking to get going, and if they get hot, it's going to be trouble. So they'll continue to have to contain Lewis and Evans and then control tempo. You talked about him going to that 2-1-2, get the ball inside to your leading scorer, Menard, when you can. Other than that, pass it back out, reverse the ball until you can get something easy.
You know, we talked a lot about an MMA style of fighter, and we're not talking about a striker. We're talking about someone that is a grappler that will get on you and look to choke you out, and that's what I promise you will see. Now, De La Salle did a good job when they tried to do it, switching to that man and coming up, and you can't run that when they come out and play that physical, attacking, athletic man.
Yeah, their keys were to push tempo, and when they got turnovers, they were able to get to the basket and maybe even hit 1-3 out of transition. But when you shoot a low percentage, very difficult to get your press up. Defensive pressure in the half court, they tried to do that and extend it because they knew Coach Whittington would just hold the ball, especially if he has the lead, and then you've got to chase. So he did jump into man-to-man, didn't allow him to reverse the ball, make them dribble more than pass. So they're going to have to get going and shoot a much better percentage here in this second half if they're going to have this comeback quarterfinal victory on the road.
Look, it has just been in-game adjustment after in-game adjustment, and you're seeing what the benefit of a very solid, experienced coach is out of Coach Whittington.
Yeah, and it's fundamentals, man. It's pass the ball. If you can get by your defender, attack for yourself, or when you create help, find your teammates. And here's the 1-2-2 matchup once again. Getting out on 3-point shooters.
Partner, if this second half is as any good as the first, we're in for a treat. This final 16 shot up and no good. One and done for De La Salle, and they'll get it into the hands of Carly, who quickly gets it out of there up front to Methvin. She'll slow it down and let the numbers trickle in. And look, they'll chase all the way out, and they're not going to let you choke them out. That one knocked up into the seats.
Yeah, good hands from Lewis there. Coach Whittington said, fake that pass high and pass it low. If you look up and throw the ball up, you're pretty much just dictating where you're throwing the ball. So you got to use that pass fake to get them out of position. Just like there's a shot fake to get out of position.
Yep, borderline going baseline, and it is off of De La Salle. First 30 seconds, kind of just a feeling out period, it looks like, to see what adjustments were made. There's Kaylee from downtown. Back iron, no good. Rebound controlled. So you survive that early on. You don't want to come out if you're De La Salle and give up a couple of buckets early to the basket. And now the foul inside. Whistled that on Rubio, it looked like. Nope, they gave it to Carly. And 2 shots here.
And first 2 possessions, instead of settling for 3-pointers, Coach Mosley with a puncture pass into the zone, missed the jump shot. And then this time, instead of settling for a deep 3, Brown attacks and draws the foul. So a little change of philosophy, go to the basket.
Well, that's what caused them, I believe, to get into this deficit that they're in, is they were missing some of the threes. And it'll stay with De La Salle. Goodness.
Yeah, and a lot of those threes in the first half, Doug, were quick threes. You know, just right down the floor, shoot it, and now Menard has the ball again.
To the corner 3. That's another quick one. Back iron, same result, no good. And a held ball is going to be called, and it will go over to Menard. this very, very, very overwhelming crowd here wanted the foul.
There's a couple referees in the stands. I didn't know
They go. That's right.
They didn't bring their shirts. You got to love it, though. They're passionate, and they will let you know about it.
Kaylee inside stops.
Fundamentals. Jump stop, shot fake, use the glass. That's beautiful.
That's that Top Gun play. Just put on the brakes and let them fly right by you.
That's beautiful. I like that, Doug. I never heard that reference.
You'll hear a lot of things.
I'm going to steal that.
I'm going
to steal
it's
that.
all yours. That's right. Over to the near side they go. Turning around, trying to work on Carly. They get her off her feet for a moment. That one is up and it's good.
Jaden Brown attacking, getting her own rebound.
25-18, 6 to go. Pressure coming there. And Carly will take it across the timeline. Jamie Sue calling for it there. And look, having to run from side to side on the floor, that is putting a little bit of fatigue on this De La Salle team. And they're content to back and swing and work inside and kick out. We've seen this game after game from the Lady Eagles. What do you do to come out and combat that? Because you can't just stop and sit back in the zone and let them run clock.
You have to go man-to-man. You have to deny that pass right there. Make her dribble the ball and attack the basket. If you can see she's open here at half court, they're going to throw it back out. Right there.
But dangerous. That's
dangerous.
Cross-courting it will get you there. But I love the effort out of that young lady, number 3, Chester.
Big-time effort. That's winning basketball right there. That's sacrificing your body into the bleachers for the teams.
Young man moving his nachos out of the way, too.
Hey, man, bring those up here.
That's right. Back it goes near Steele. Saved it underneath their own basket, and it will go over to Menard. Down the floor to Methvin, who stops. Thought she was going to pop, and they'll kick it back out. 5.5 to go here. All those years of calling basketball, never the Top Gun reference, huh?
Never the Top Gun reference.
There you go.
I absolutely love it. Love the movie, love the reference.
Back up to the top it goes. Sawyer's got it. She quickly gives it up to Jamie Sue. You just got to watch that corner, the pass from Whittington all the way across to this side.
Long passes against quick teams you don't want to do, Doug. And they're content to hold it. Now we're here in the third quarter. And, Doug, there's 4:46 to play in the third quarter. I'm all over it. I'm all over it.
There you go.
I'm a quick learner.
Rubio to the basket, and she's got it, and that will certainly electrify this gold and green crowd. And a timeout on the floor.
That's just good basketball, man. And it's back-breaking, too. They hold the ball for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You're chasing, you're trying to get a stop. And Rubio, probably the smallest young lady on the floor. But, Doug, you know something? It's not how big you are. It's how big you play.
Look, and here's what you see. If you watch any film, and then look, all of their games are on 446 Sports, and you can watch them on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X. Shameless plug there. But you know that Rubio's not going to shoot a lot. And so you drift off of her. She can continue to make these baskets. That really changes things.
No, it really does. You always have some type of unsung hero, a young lady you can't win without. It may not show up in the stat sheet, but they do the little things. And when that opportunity comes, when they have to finish for their team, they're drilled enough and well coached enough to do it.
Big shout out to my man Nick Morrow, who is running our camera back off of hiatus that he was on up in Tennessee for a while, and enjoying some studying and education, we'll call it. But he's back home, and you get this new camera that's controlled by a joystick. You go get you a college kid that knows how to run those things.
100%.
27-18, largest lead of the afternoon for the Lady Eagles, and that was courtesy of that Mia Rubio basket and layup.
And I think a smart timeout for Coach Mosley, because he's got to change tempo. He's got to hit some baskets, or this one's going to get away from him. That
one bounces around and no good. Speaking of getting away from him, Buckeye 42, George Washington Carver 25 in that one at the half. Big-time Buckeye work. They'll go the other way. The left-handed layup, no good.
Fry a little too strong off the glass with the left hand.
Look at Jamie, who just continued to get back into a quick move there. wanted the foul. Jamie Sue will dive in. Held ball, and it will go over to De La Salle.
Well, they're letting them play, no doubt about it. Girls diving on the floor. That's playoff effort, winning plays right there, and it'll go the other way. De La Salle gets a turnover.
A couple of other scores for you. Menard baseball up 2-0 over Grant. Ash baseball up 2-0 over defending state champion North DeSoto. Inside it goes. Here it's 27-18. Free ball is launched, and it's good.
Lewis knocks it down on a nice feed from Brown as they double team Brown. She kicks it out for a 3.
Oh, how quickly they get in, but I still think you have to keep doing what you were doing, and that's get to the basket and not try too much to not go score. But we've burned off 3 minutes.
Now they're going straight man-to-man. They're making Menard dribble the ball. That's a great ball screen. Oh, couldn't finish. A little contact.
Look, that was such a strain. And now De La Salle quickly gets it down the floor. That one is up, and it's good.
Huge timeout from Coach Mike Mosley right there. Now Coach Whittington wants the timeout. Here we go.
I'm telling you. And it just seems like a tell of 2 quarters on there.
And listen, you think, well, he just called timeout a couple minutes ago. He felt it getting away from him. Call timeout. He's made a commitment to getting the ball inside to number 11, Jaden Brown, the senior. His miss everything inside for him. And what she's doing is finishing, drawing fouls, collapsing the defense, kicking it out, and you have a shooter like Lewis, who is also a senior and the best three-point shooter. That's coach. You think, oh, they're just going out there and playing. Doug, that's coaching.
Yeah, and you're seeing it from both. That's why you've got 5 timeouts in a ball game, and you see these are being used to perfection.
And you can see them kind of fanning some of the girls in there. They are absolutely getting tired. This full court pace may not be effective early on, but that's why you do it. That's the philosophy. Wear them down. You can see some red faces coming out of that huddle right there. And I tell you what, and these girls don't want to come out of the game.
This is after slowing it down, slowing the pace on there. But you're right. You look at the faces. They are, every one of them are red.
Yep. Boy, giving it all they got. This playoff bad. There is no tomorrow.
Dig down and just and find every last little bit that you have. There's a baseball pass down the side, and out of bounds it goes.
Hey, Doug, that's a softball pass.
Sorry, there it goes. That's correct. I don't know why we don't have her with Coach Turney in that softball team with that arm that she's got out there. Goodness.
And that's a good play from Coach Whittington, too. When the face guard sends somebody deep, they may have turned it over right there, but it's going to alleviate that pressure, get them to back up sooner.
Fatigue starting to set in a little bit, but there's a quick hand by Jamie Sue again. Does she have enough to run the floor? Double dribbles that one, but no call. Out it goes to Methvin, and they'll reset to the top. Boy, that one, if she doesn't mishandle that, that's a basket.
Been a big basket.
Carly says, look, this is what I'm here. She goes, yeah. The Hack-A-Maynard is on.
That's it. Drives to her right. Spin move to the middle. 3 maroon jerseys around her. Gets her on the arm. She'll go to the line. And, boy, these free throws here for the rest of this game are going to be important. They're going to be huge for both teams.
Here's what I like about it, if you're De La Salle, is that you do hold on to that arm, and you don't just get a small foul. You don't let her go for the and one.
That's right. Make her earn both of them at the line. She gets the first one.
And
that crawled out. Iron unkind once again.
I don't know how it could be that far down in the basket and then roll back out, but it does it. Free is launched from the corner. Don't let De La Salle get hot here because they are starting to fill it a little bit.
But you can see them passing the ball. A little penetration and kicking to open shooters.
Shelton on the a timeout by Whittington. He jumps in and emphatically gets the full timeout.
You call that a jump? Did you really call that a jump?
Oh, my goodness.
Coach Witt still got it, baby.
Look, I'm telling you, that
Save the possession. That's huge, man. And you got to be loud, too, because he's on the other end of the floor. Somebody that's not as loud as Coach Whittington may not have gotten that timeout. Heads up, look, Coach. Nice job.
And look, good thing nobody was around him either.
No, the hang time was not impressive, but he did get off the floor. I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
For those of us that are sneaking up in age, I appreciate it. I think he was there. Goodness gracious.
Great call. Great call.
And I mean, at that moment, because if you don't have possession, you don't get the timeout on there. He got it right when he needed it.
Well, what would have happened there probably would have been a tie-up. Now, they may have kept the ball, but the possession arrow would have switched.
That's
so
right.
now they keep this possession, and the next tie-up, they'll get the ball again. That's huge, man.
And
That's huge.
a couple of timeouts left on here for Coach Whittington. They've got 3 on the board and 2 left for Coach Mosley at De La Salle. But look, I'm going to tell you, the 3-hour bus ride, who cares? Home court, who cares? You've got 10 minutes left to go to Sulphur or to Hammond, and it's on.
Now, both of these teams competing, playing hard. You got your senior leaders doing everything they can. That's playoff effort. Now, here's the full court. Now it's not the diamond press. It's full court man-to-man, and they send somebody deep so they can't throw that softball pass and get a layup.
2:15 now, 2:10 counting here in the third. Sawyer steps up for 3. Can she hit another one? 3-ball corner pocket. Sawyer Shelton.
Heat check. My goodness, 3 monster threes for Shelton.
She has brought it tonight, and look, that just fires up Jamie Sue. Jamie Sue is going to get whistled for the foul there. My goodness.
Huge. Little hand check. I like that call. You got to protect the dribble. You got to protect the shooter.
A minute 49 remains here in this one. In the third, 146 and counting now.
Remember that 3, Doug. Remember that 3.
Look, she has stepped up when she's needed to. She's feeling it. She is less than 24 hours off of the softball field. And my goodness, that's what, look, this is, we talked to her too. And there's no aspirations to go on and play at anything at the next level. She's enjoying right where she's at and being where her feet are. 119, 118, and De La Salle content to spend a little bit of time. They're going to call a foul. And that's a tough foul. Rubio is whistled for that one. And goodness.
And that's a heads-up play from your senior, too, splitting the gap in that zone and trying to create something. Because you're right, they were running a lot of clock. It was just good defense. So she decides to attack and draws a foul.
There's a 3 launch trying to equalize Shelton's. No good. Trip and going to the deck. But here's one thing I'll tell you. Nobody's shooting. There's still a minute. We've not had it. Is that Lewis that's going to be whistled on?
Lewis, yep.
Minute 7 remains here in the third.
So here's full court man-to-man pressure from De La Salle.
Get it in the hands of your playmaker, Bordelon, and they work it around. And good job, Shelton, to get across. And as they get in front of us, too, you see more and more. These ladies are just so fatigued. Oh, inside.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Of Carly Menard gets another one.
Methvin to Menard. That's a great pass.
58 seconds, double-digit lead, 33-23 we play.
That's how Coach Whittington drew it up.
And look, you would think this is where Whittington would go to pull his offense back, but you're not going to get that opportunity with De La Salle. They're not going to sit back a bit.
No, and this zone makes you pass the ball so they're in a hurry. They're down, and they can't get a shot off. The defense is solid.
3-ball from the corner, no good. One and done again, and Menard off and running. She's looking up for somebody, but she's outrunning everybody down the floor. Stops, pops, got it!
She's looking for the ring, Doug. I got this, coast to coast. You gotta love it.
4, 3, 2, and when there's another steal, we've got a buzzer beater. No, that'll do it. Listen to this crowd here at the Eagles Nest. My goodness.
What a quarter. 35-23, Menard up. Great zone defense, which slows De La Salle down. It takes them so many passes to get a shot up. They are rebounding the ball. And now De La Salle, out of desperation, is attacking the offensive glass, which is leading to transition for Menard.
It's, look, this is why you want the home field advantage, the home court advantage. This is why you don't make the trip. Just something about playing in your gym one final time. And again, these two teams, we talked about it in the pregame show, Eric. They were tied. 221 teams that were tied in the power ranking had to go to the tiebreaker on there, and I think they had to get the abacus out to do that to figure just how it went. But this Menard Eagle crowd is paying them back.
Yeah, and the body of work by Menard, too. Those 10 wins in a row, beating Arca, a 3A school. I know they had some great wins during this season. They won their last 10, which puts them in that position to end up 4 or 5. And De La Salle won their last 6 against some tough competition and a tough district in that New Orleans area. So, man, both teams with their body of work ended up absolutely tied. I'm not sure what that tiebreaker was, but it went to Menard, and that's why they're at home, and I think that's why they're up.
Look, this trio of Jamie Sue Bordelon, Sawyer Shelton, and Carly Menard have been doing this since 8th graders. They know that they're ready to go. Inbounds we go. Student section on their feet. Inside entry pass to Carly, no good. Diving on the floor is Jamie Sue. And a held ball is whistled, and it will go over to De La Salle, but I don't think you mind that too much because you still a possession away. They were going to have the ball anyway.
That's playoff intensity, just diving on the floor, diving bodies. Every possession so important, and both of these teams realize it.
You just get that one chunked away.
Jaden Brown back into the game, and I know Coach Mosley wants to go to her, but that pass is just a little bit too high for her out of bounds.
Inbounds it goes now. Shelton has it. They'll get it back over to Jamie Sue. Methvin will back things out. And this is where you're going to really fatigue this team because Menard has played this all year long. They've played this tempo and this weave and this in and out all season. It reminds me when I was a kid on the playground and not being as tall as the other kids, they would just keep it away from me. Carly says, I'm going to go to the basket. She's going to pick up the foul also.
Coach Whittington okay with that shot. I mean, your best player right there low on the block, and that was good defense to play without fouling. A little bit short, and then she goes over the back. Coach Whittington said, no problem, get back, keep playing that defense.
Look, this is, if you told Coach Whittington he'd have a 12-point lead with 7 minutes to go, he'd take that all day and every day.
And he's screaming, get out on 4. Lewis, the senior, their best three-point shooter. Get out on 4, make somebody else hit a 3.
And that's what you want to do. Just like trying to take away Carly. You've got to get out and get on the shooter. And nothing will drive you more crazy as a coach than the shooter that you know is the shooter. You'll let this one go. That one front iron, no good. Sawyer racing out for a rebound. Looks in her rearview mirror, turns around and gets it back out to Jamie Sue.
Playoff poise right there.
That's a thing, you
playoff poise, man.
You look at the ability to know your situation. And there's a big time steal. Now going back the other way. Look at Sawyer jump in the lane. Good basket to not draw a charge. That is Cole, Tamaya Cole that gets that one.
Great body control, and she's able to get it up there with a little touch and sweet finish.
Starting to get their hands in and poke around. This De La Salle team not going anywhere. 35-25, 6:16 remains.
No, you don't win 20 games in the New Orleans area with quit in you. They got some dogs, and they're going to keep fighting.
Carly backing down, unable really to turn. But look at her jump in and get the rebound, and it's going to be a team offensive rebound. And she gets that between 2 defenders.
And good defense from Fry that time. She's also a senior. She's big and strong. She walled up. You want to make contact with your body and not your arms. Uh-oh. And
that would have brought the house down. Down the floor they go, and that's that run out, being careful. No easy baskets, and you know that De La Salle's going to want that foul. Pass to the middle, a little toss sweep to the left. And Jamie Sue will work around and wiggle in and out of there, and 5:49 remains in this one. Final home game for the Lady Eagles of the season. They're trying their best to get down to Sulphur, or Hammond actually, for March Madness. Jumps around, bangs in there, no good. Rebound off of Methvin, it looked like should stay with De La Salle. And that's just the hustle that she's got that caused it to go off her hand. Inside it goes, but there's Methvin again. Those quick hands from Kaylee.
Quick hands right there. She's going up.
Timeout on the floor, full timeout taken by Coach Mosley. Is that who took that?
No,
one?
Coach Whittington took it. I think this is a catch your breath timeout. Big moment here.
30-second timeout, and he's going to say, look, so here's what happened that last 2 minutes. We told you it was a 10-point lead, and he would take it with 7 minutes to go. Played even with him. Now he's got a 10 point. Now he's taking in 2-minute increments down the clock, and that'll measure success for a win.
In close games, in playoff games, to me, in that fourth quarter, whoever has the most timeouts, Doug, has the advantage. But I like Coach Mosley's timeouts in the first half because he had to make adjustments.
You wondered what the paper plates were for. Now you're seeing
They are fanning those girls. They have gone the distance. What a game by all of them, and they are feeling it right now.
Look, heart. You could throw any cliche into this you want about heart and about determination and about the will to win. Both of these teams are just slugging it out here.
Yeah, results fade, identity and character lasts. And I guarantee you all of these young ladies are going to give it all they got tonight, and then they're going to head their separate ways and remember this for the rest of their lives. But it's the character and intensity Coach Whittington has poured into these girls. And, man, they're going to carry that with them for the rest of their lives.
And they'll be able to go back and watch it right here on 446 Sports.
Absolutely. And now a foul on Salle.
Just the first team foul. This is where it'll hurt you a little bit, too. If you've got to start fouling to slow things down, you got a lot of fouls to give.
Yep. It's been a let them play game, which is good. Now they go isolation inside. Good pass.
Carly unable to finish. Kaylee knocks that one away. It is going to go out and over to De La Salle with 4:58. And if you could start winding off minute. Not sure what down in the corner. We'll take a look and see what.
I think one had it one way, the other one had it the other way. They talked about it, and I think they got it.
That's all you ever want. That's all you ever want.
Try to get it right.
I would rather somebody get some help, talk about it, than nothing. Here they go to the near side. Clock continues to run. Oh, good work inside. That's what we expected out of her all day.
She scores that with 4:46 to play.
Of course she does.
I'm all over it, Doug. I'm all over
well,
it.
You can't beat fun at the old ball game, can you? There's a hold. They talk about in football when you see the jersey separate, the arm pulled back there.
Yeah, you got to call those. I agree with letting them play, but obvious stuff you have to call because real frustration can set in.
Look, Menard just doesn't care. She is going to get her way into the basket. And Coach Mosley is warning. He said, look, she was standing up, but the other two weren't. They were grabbing on and holding. And that's going to send Carly Menard to the free throw line. Boy, she has been so fun to watch through the years, and looking forward to a couple of more, hopefully, from her.
Make it count right here.
First free throw, and again, this is a good move because it gives everybody an opportunity to rest a little bit. The only thing you can't do is bring the little paper plate fans out.
Yeah, and that's composure right there at the line. Composure through the chaos. Never lose your head. Never get frustrated. Just do what you do. And, man, that is a sweet stroke right there at the free throw line after all of this contact and this whole game. And she makes them both, of course. Of course.
Off and running now, wasting no time is De La Salle, 4:16. We're nearing the halfway point of the fourth period. Working inside, bodying up, nothing there. Shelton pulls down the board, and away they go. Look, every miss, every time you cleared out is another 30 seconds or so coming off the clock. Rubio had such a big basket down here earlier, too. My goodness, everybody has contributed in this one. Inside pass, and there's a collision.
Let's hope everybody's okay. Maybe banged heads. One's grabbing her knee.
And they're going to call a held ball out of that, and it will stay over with Menard. But I don't think you wanted to waste your held ball possession right on that. And this is where you see the physicality of this thing that's been letting them play the entire time. but they haven't changed up the way they've called it all.
Yeah, and late in the game when you got a team desperate, you'll have more fouls. They're being more aggressive. And when you don't call the obvious, I'm okay with them letting go a little bit. The first half I thought was fine. Now they're letting it too many obvious calls right in the middle of everybody go. You can hear the crowd kind of getting into it. Somebody's going to get hurt. You got to blow that whistle.
And that's correct. There's a good ball screen.
Great ball screen.
Up top it goes. They work around, and you'll see, look, Carly just jumps back in position. They'll set it up one more time. Jamie Sue around and around they go. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Cole's actually trying to foul, and they won't call it. Now they finally call it. She's like, I'm fouling her. I'm fouling her.
And this is what I told you about when they hadn't committed a lot, because it's been a very clean game or a low foul call game. You still got to get a couple more before you can stretch this game out.
Yeah, they've got to deny here, maybe try to get a steal.
Free throws down the key are going to be it. It gets inside. There's a little backdoor give and go and a foul, and that's going to send Shelton to the line for a couple of free throws. And the clock is giving them chaos a little bit up here.
It's just beautiful basketball. A great call from Coach Whittington as you pop out Menard, who's going to draw a lot of attention. And then you've got the quick Shelton after she inbounds the ball, sprint to the basket. Beautiful bounce pass. Draw the foul. She'll head to the line. Boy, she has been big tonight. A little long on that one.
And the beauty of it is, I think De La Salle was expecting them to turn and head back out. She just takes and goes to the basket.
Great call from Coach Whittington. Man, I've been knowing Coach Whitt a long, long time. One of the really, really good guys. They're lucky to have him here.
Shelton with the free throw off.
Told you the bank was open on a Thursday night in Alexandria.
Back down the other way quickly. 3-11, and there's Jamie Sue stepping into the passing lane and taking that herself, and she'll give it over to Kaylee, who will finish this off. And the wheels are starting to come off for De La Salle. 41-27.
Picked her pocket with the steal and then drops the dime. And it's going to be tough. Oh, what a big-time shot there. That was Chester.
High and off the glass for Chester, the running one-hander. Good. Pressure again. Menard will be shooting the rest of the way.
Guess who?
Inside it goes to Kaylee. Needs to finish that off. Rebound is controlled out.
Those girls are winded, man, but it looks like they are going to survive and advance.
2.5 remaining. Another running one-hander and a timeout. Not so fast, my friend.
I tell you what, those last two buckets right there. Chester's only a sophomore, and she's able to find the bucket. I think that was Fry there with the runner. Nothing but net, and you're right. They've cut it to single digits here with 2:26 to play.
Look, and that's all you want to do when you're trying to make a comeback. You've got the clock stopped on fouls on the other end of it, so you've got that accomplished with what you want. You burned off some time, but you're in here and you got under double digits, and that's a mindset, is that 10-point, that double digit. But now you're at 9, you got the ball. You can make your way, go down here and hit another shot, and all of a sudden it's a couple of possessions.
Yeah, they're going to get the pressure up out of the timeout. I'm sure it'll be the full court man-to-man. And again, when you go full court man-to-man, it's a lot harder to pass the ball up against that zone. In the first half, it was all the diamond press, Doug, which means you're trapping. Somebody's always open. In man-to-man, that's not necessarily the case.
Look, I'm going to tell you, if they end up making it down to Hammond and they hold this 9-point lead the remainder, if every fan that goes down there doesn't have a paper plate in their hands in the stands, they're missing such a great moment.
Yes, indeed. That's awesome. Paper plates fanning those young ladies, and they're going to actually not press. They're going to back up. So watch maybe them chase the ball. Nope. They try to psych them out. They come up with it now. Look like they weren't going to do it, but they have to.
And look, they're still same old with the Lady Eagles.
Handled.
I like trying to throw that. That's almost like an onside kick getting thrown at you there. And they'll go to the free throw line and shoot. He pointed to the floor, but there's free throws coming.
Yeah, they got Cole there as... Who was that attacking? Yeah, that's Methvin. Yeah, if she'd have gotten by him, it would have been an easy layup, so I'm okay with that foul.
Look, and that is the 5th. Menard will shoot the rest of the way. This is a home field advantage. I mean, the home court advantage. It was deathly quiet in here.
You could hear the ball hit the rim up there.
2:10 remains here. Methvin trying to get it back to double digits. See the brace on the knee. You see the brace on the ankle. This senior is just willing her way and does get the basket there to get it back. 41-31.
Doug, am I right? They've only had one sub when.
That's correct, and that was when Shelton
at the end. Yeah. Look at that big time rebound.
Racing everybody down the floor. Did you see De La Salle a little bit when they're not able to get down the floor as well?
Yep, Coach Whitting said, pull that thing out. Hold on to it. Let's get to the free throw line. No turnovers here. Or a layup.
Kaylee Methvin to the basket. And I'm not necessarily saying that's the nail, but I'm telling you this is
close,
they need to start working on travel arrangements. 128, and that one is kicked off the foot. 12-point lead. This would be a huge three. Back miss, no good. And off of Methvin, and it will go over to De La Salle. Minute 19 remains in this one. Three ball from the corner, bangs around, no good as well.
Jump.
And you're starting to feel it now with just a minute to go in this one. But you're right. The substitution minute was about 30 seconds.
Yep. Just quickly get them in there, let them fire them up, get them out. Give everybody an opportunity to see if they can't knock something down. And they're waiting right there at the table, offense for defense.
Good little work through the lane. The only thing they didn't do was finish. And Sawyer's going to get whistled for the foul there with 1:05 to go.
Yeah, that was Evans with a nice runner once again. She hit it a while ago, and a lot of credit there to Cole, who didn't just stand there and assume her teammate was going to make it. She sprints into the lane, gets that rebound. And now timeout from Coach Whittington.
Final timeout, and listen to this ovation once again from the Eagles fans. I'm telling you, because they'll go back and watch this broadcast, and I love it that all these fans will go back and see it again because they've cheered their way through this thing. If anybody that's listening to me and you don't have one of those styrofoam plates in your hands when you go down to Hammond, you're missing out on this. I want to see everybody in the stands waving those fans.
That is awesome. I mean, and look, that's teammates too. They're doing whatever they can to help this team win, and that's what a family is. That's what a team is. That's what gets you to the Final Four.
You go back to the Rocky movies, and when he's in the corner and they're fanning and they're doing anything, and you look at a fight and they're trying just some way to get these fighters to go out for that last round. Here it is, ding ding. I'm gonna tell you, every one of them just drenched out there.
They will. All these 5 young ladies will sleep well tonight. And they get to practice again and get ready to go to the big day, the March Madness, baby.
That's right. This is our final video broadcast, too, of this. That one misses a no good. We're unable to bring you video coverage from down in Hammond on that, and we hate that. We may set up the audio and bring that to you if there's an opportunity, but to those of you that have watched all season long, we certainly thank you for it. And as Sheriff Buford Justice was saying, now that all the mutual BS is out of the way, let's go.
And I have a feeling that everybody that can get to Hammond from Alexandria to watch these and support this team will be there.
No doubt about it. Methvin around the corner, she'll turn, and I won't say it's the kneel down just yet, but I'm telling you that time is winding out in this one. Jamie Sue, they're playing a tight man. They're not going to foul yet. They're not going to foul at all.
No, they get the foul late. Wow, that's close to
bailed out with that one, and Coach Mosley is beside himself. This is that point in the game when you remind folks to stay off the court after these, but there's going to be some net cutting down for the Lady Eagles tonight as they're going to punch their ticket and head down to Hammond.
Coach Whittington, he's still coaching, baby. Get out on threes and rebound the ball, which they've done most of the night.
Big time free throw there from Jamie Sue. 44-32 in this one. We'll get the housekeeping there done, and they'll switch out and keep their keep their offensive unit out now.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with Coach Mosley. You know, if this is the last game for them, a 20-win season, the 5 seed, and he's made some adjustments tonight to try to give his girls a chance. They just didn't shoot it well from 3. And I'm telling you, that zone from Coach Whittington, take away the 3-pointers coming into the game. They've done that. They kind of out-executed a little bit De La Salle tonight, but congrats to Coach Mosley on his great season and his young ladies.
Clock runs here with 42, and that's right. And that's a tough bus ride home after this one, too. But, our congratulations to the De La Salle folks on a tremendous, tremendous season that they had.
Coach Whittington saying, we don't need anybody down here in the lane. Y'all
Y'all just go hang out down there.
Let the clock run. Don't foul. Move you. Don't foul. That's
Look,
right.
Whatever you do, I don't care if you give the layups here.
Don't foul.
37.2 remains in this one. And just clutch shooting by Kaylee Methvin.
Never a doubt. Composed. All of these young ladies, man, they try to speed you up. They know it's coming. Let's prepare. Let's do what we do. Fundamentals. Slow the game down. Control the tempo. Make layups. Get the ball to your best player inside, Ms. Menard.
That's a pretty good blueprint.
Over. Yep.
Now, what I like to see is that she's making these free throws, and they're visibly fatigued. Normally, you see the legs go, and you're hitting them short of the front iron.
That Maddie Roy set the
That one's up, and she gets them both. And that will get Maddie into the game, and that gets Mia Rubio off. And that's what you like to see is go out there in a tremendous, tremendous hand for that young lady. 34 seconds remain. Now under 30 we go. You just stay out of the way. Saw you with the scare tactic defense there. I don't even think you play it that. You just, that's one of those you let them have it and get out of there. But you can't take the fight out of Sawyer Shelton. I promise you that. She is backing up now, but 15-point lead and 32 points allowed in this one is I think you'll hang your hat on that easy.
Every day of the week. I don't know what they average coming in, but to win 20 games and win your last 6 against a tough New Orleans area teams, you got to put up some points, and they were held to 32 tonight.
Oh, you gotta be! Are you kidding me?
A little Pistol Pete. Oh, double dribble.
Look, how
a
about
little Pistol Pete a la the pistol.
That's and to execute that. Wow, that don't think that won't make the highlight film. 13 seconds.
Now smiles on their faces.
Yeah, this one is going to wrap it up. You hear the crowd here starting to get on their feet in 7 and 6. And that is going to be your ball game. Final score is the only thing. The Lady Eagles are cutting the net, and they're heading to Hammond for a trip to the state championship tournament down there in March Madness. And Eric, what a ball game it has been.
No doubt about it, man. So much credit to this team. The game plan was there from Coach Whittington, and they went out there, played their hearts out, and executed, and no quit from De La Salle. They just continued to try to fight and get themselves back in this game. But congratulations to Menard as they are going to March Madness.
The Fab Five did it tonight. There's no doubt about it. Substitution minutes is what you like to count. Count these in seconds tonight is how little there were. I look at the play of Shelton. I look at the play of Methvin, Rubio with the basket there. Jamie Sue continually getting everybody on that starting 5. The only 5 did their thing.
Yeah, some of those things you're not going to see in the stat sheet, but man, that's winning basketball. Taking care of the ball, not turning it over, making free throws, rebounding the ball. Great game plan and great execution.
Well, they are off to Hammond. It is time to cut the net down, and we'll keep you posted on the rest of it. Partner, enjoyed it tonight. It was a blast having you up here in the press box with us.
Oh, it was awesome, man. I love coming here. This is a great atmosphere. They were ready to play tonight, and they survived and advance.
Absolutely. Final score 47-32. Congratulations to the Lady Eagles. They are moving on. From a man, Nick Morrow, on production. Tremendous job over there. Eric Mouton, who is a wonderful member of what we do here with 446 Sports, and you'll hear a lot more from him. Guys, it has been a tremendous season bringing you Menard basketball. It has been indeed my pleasure for that. We'll see you next time. I am Doug Gann. God bless you all.